Come on in. Get in here. Grab a drink. It's 8 o'clock, or whatever time it is that you happen to be watching. But Strengthen Your Soul is on. Come on, get in here. We need you. Come on in. Get in here. Just getting all of my stuff set. So come on in. Get in here. Tonight is sort of a special night for Strengthen Your Soul. Going to try something completely new and a little bit risky. So tonight is completely new for me and for those of you who tuned in, and it's a little risky. As always, come on in, get in here. As always, 8 o'clock we open up. 8:01 we grab a drink. Get your favorite drink, or just one that you think you'd enjoy tonight. And then at 8:02 we're going to start. And again, we have a special segment tonight. So come on in, say hi for me if you will. Just lets me know who's kicking around. Love interacting with you. Tonight, I'm having a lemon water. A little dehydrated. And some of you, you might be saying, Kyle, you have a little more color than usual. You're a little tan, and I say to you, thank you. I know I look great. I feel great. It's good to be with you. So come on in, get in here, grab a drink. And in about 10 seconds, we will cheers and take a sip together. And I want to talk to you tonight about sort of the positive end of strengthening your soul. That's what this whole week is about. So last night we talked about, Sharon, good to see you. Happy Tuesday to you as well. We talked about how do you experience full joy. So anyways, grab a drink. You got 5 seconds, and then we're going to cheers and get going. So here we go. Cheers. Let's talk about your soul. So tonight, I want to just talk to you about how do you make someone's day? And this is incredibly important to having a healthy soul, because there is actually something uniquely human and uniquely powerful about actually taking someone's soul and giving strength to them. This is one of the things that Jesus was actually known for. Jesus was known that people who got around him, particularly people who had very little pride, when they got around Jesus, they just couldn't help but be around him and to want him to bless them. In fact, one time there was a bunch of little kids who came around Jesus. And some of Jesus' followers thought he was really serious, so they tried to shoo the kids away. And Jesus said, don't do that. Let them come to me. And then it actually says that he blessed them. So tonight I want to talk to you about how do you make someone's day by blessing them. And then the special segment is this, and I need one or two of you to actually be brave enough to say I'm in the comments. And I'd love to try to model for you what a blessing looks like. So even if I haven't seen you in years, or I've seen you in the past couple of weeks, if you say me or make a comment, I'll model for you what I think is how you make someone's day and how you bless them. So if you could just, if you can help me out, if not, I don't know what I'll do actually, and that's sort of the fun of this segment. So if you're here and you go, I'd love to be blessed, I'd love to have my day made, just make a comment. I'll actually write that up here because sometimes people jump in. Make a comment so I can make your day. So I want to talk to you about how do you speak to someone in such a way that it hits their heart, it hits their soul, it is completely authentic, and it makes their day. How do you do this? Because this is one of the ways to actually strengthen your soul. So one of the ways we strengthen our soul is by actually helping others. One of the things that Jesus taught is this: it's better to give than to receive. It's way better to give than to receive. So actually tonight, if you would make a comment and I get to make your day, we both walk away richer. So again, I see some of you are watching. Some of you are probably tentative. Being put on the spot, I know, is risky. So again, if you make a comment, I would love that so I can make your day. But let's talk about how do you speak living words or life or blessing over people. Step number one, really, really important. What you say needs to be absolutely true. What I mean by that is you must speak with a conviction that comes from the very center of your being, and even better than that, potentially from God Himself. Potentially from God Himself. We'll talk about how do you do that. But you cannot fake it. You can't fake it. Number two, and no one's commented yet, so please, if one of you would comment, it's going to make my life a lot easier. If not, I'm just going to encourage you to do this yourself. That'll be our trying process. But I would love to do this tonight live on air. Number two, you need to have no agenda. So, for instance, I'm married. So sometimes I can speak living words, or I can make my wife's day seriously like that if I follow this procedure. But if I'm doing it to get something from her, if I want my wife to make me, a pumpkin pie, and I speak living words over her, here's the truth. I'm not actually connected with the heart of God, with the heart of the universe, with the heart of Jesus. So I'm not there at all. All right, we got one person in. Beautiful. Beautiful. We got one person who I can bless. So when you speak living words over someone, you have to do so with no agenda. You have to do so with no agenda. And number three is what I call think, pray. So to the extent that you've learned to trust Jesus, to the extent that you've learned to trust God, the universe, to actually lead you, and I'm going to move this a little so that it's just the reflection's just here now. To the extent that you learn to actually operate in faith, to risk more than you're comfortable with, sometimes there will be a thought that comes to you to actually make someone's day, to strengthen their soul. That didn't just come from you. And actually, to the extent that you know God, the more you will actually be able to speak living words to them. Okay, I got two people. I got my cousins, my cousin Phil and Sharon, and then a dear friend of mine, Katie. So I'll start with Katie because she went first. So I'm going to model this. So what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to try to say things that I believe to be absolutely true. I have no agenda. Actually, my hope is just to make your day. And then hopefully to model for others so that they could do the same. And I'm going to pause and just think and pray just for a short second. So we'll start with you, Katie. So Katie, since the moment I met you, from the moment I met you, I was overwhelmed with the amount of courage you demonstrated as a woman who is facing significant challenges. If I were speaking to you face to face, I would name what those are. But because we're online, I'll keep those anonymous for your sake. But you are a woman of absolute courage. And I have seen demonstrated your loyalty to those you love. And what you need to see is this, that as you continue to walk with God, your life will actually become a picture of what the strength of God looks like in the life of a woman. And so you have an opportunity to demonstrate how God can take a situation that's broken and make it remarkable and beautiful. And Katie, you just need to know as your friend, and I've got the privilege to become your pastor, Lauren and I and our whole family, we love you. And you are worthy of great honor, and we hold you highly, highly in our hearts. So that's it. Everything I said is absolutely true. I had no agenda. And some of it, I was praying and trying to go, God, what would you say? I'm going to talk to the other one. Phil and Sharon. So again, why should you watch this? It's because actually you can do some parallel learning. Um, so this will, I'm going to speak to Phil. Actually, I'll speak to both of you, but I'll start with Phil. Uh, Phil, you are my oldest cousin. And when I was a little boy, I always looked up and admired you. Always. I thought you were one of the most cool people I had ever seen on the planet. And there was a season when your story was heartbreaking for me because I felt like I lost you. But actually, what's been amazing to watch with you and Sharon, so Sharon, this is for you too. It's been amazing to watch the two of you turn your lives completely around to become people of great courage, of people of integrity, people who have figured out how do you walk with God even when you've got a past. And so I am so proud to call you my cousins. I also believe this, that as you continue to pursue greater love for one another, that actually your story will be used to help other people just like you. And so I love you both deeply with the affection of God. So thank you to, you three actually, for volunteering. Do you know how full I feel right now? I feel amazing, like amazing. You know why? Because when you actually speak living words, when you bless people, when you try to make their day, and you say something that's absolutely true with no agenda, and you try to align yourself with the will of God, you actually experience the strengthening of your own soul. So I hope that blessed you all. There's always a risk when you do this too. Some people might think you're weird. They might not take it well. That's okay. The last, so now let's do the try portion real quick. We're going to think and we're going to pray. And actually, what I want you to do is this. Those of you who are watching now live or those of you who are watching later, think about who should you bless? W-O-W-H-O. Who should you bless? And what should I say? And I want you to think, and very often God speaks to us in our thoughts. And then I want to challenge you to actually strengthen your soul and someone else's by taking a risk and sharing. So maybe in the next 24 hours, you'd reach out, you'd speak living words over someone. You'd strengthen your own soul because actually when you speak like this, you're actually speaking in the same way that the Father of your soul does, the same way that Jesus speaks to people. And you bless them. So that being said, we're going to wrap up. Thanks for tuning in. Tomorrow's going to be about how do you receive a compliment? How do you take it so that it goes deep into the center of your being and it helps strengthen your soul? So as we wrap up, I'd love to just say a simple prayer for those of you who are watching. Some of you are watching and you didn't get a comment, so I didn't get a chance to make your day. But here would be my prayer for those of you who are watching right now. May there be a deep sense of affection and love from God for you today. And would you know that you are deeply loved, that you are deeply honored, and you have no idea your value. May you begin to actually experience a strengthening of your soul that would show you what you're worth. I pray this in Jesus' name. That being said, thank you all for tuning in. I love you all. Hope your soul's getting stronger. Hope you're feeling more connected with others and with God, with the universe, and most importantly, with Jesus. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, 8 p.m. Have a good one.